What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another fabulous edition of Rumor Patrol. You guys know me, I'm Deidre Behar. Unfortunately, Katy is still under the weather. We are sending her our best. And in Katy's place today is my Cuban soul sister, Miss Miriam Issa. I'm sure a few of you recognize Miriam. She's one of the hosts on Clever TV.
Probably not.
I think so. Give them the benefit of the doubt.
They've probably never seen Clever TV, but you should.
You should, because Miriam and Vivian, her co-host, they're hilarious. And of course, who doesn't love a little Shakira, a little J-Lo?
I know.
You know?
Thank you.
A little spicy action.
I am so excited to be on your show today.
We're very, very excited to have you here.
Yay.
And we're excited to get your feisty, hilarious, ridiculous opinions on 3 of Hollywood's biggest rumors this week, of course, here on Rumor Patrol. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Yes. Okay, let's kick things off with rumor number 1. You guys, I am so excited. Demi Lovato is locked and loaded for season 3 of the X Factor. She has signed on yet again to be a judge mentor, and she went ahead and released a statement talking about how excited she is. She said, quote, "I'm so excited to return as a judge and mentor on the X Factor. Last season was an unbelievable experience, and I really enjoyed developing personal relationships with the contestants and the panel. I look forward to taking my previous experience and applying it to make this season even better." Question number 1, are you excited? Do you think she fits in well? Are you excited to see what she brings?
I was so excited when she was announced the first time that she was going to be a part of the show. And I remember that, do you remember the commercials? They wanted to make it all about Britney Spears. And then the show began, and Britney had like 2-word answers for everything. And Demi was just so spicy and full of personality. So to me, Demi absolutely stole the show, as well as her dynamic with Mr. Simon Cowell.
Well, I love that you bring up the whole like Simon dynamic, because he went ahead and used his typical little like, it's a compliment, but it's kind of a left-handed compliment sort of thing in his statement.
What did he say?
He said, "I couldn't be happier that Demi wants to come back this year. She's a superstar in her own right and was a fantastic mentor last year. Even though she can be really, really annoying, I truly enjoyed working with her, and so did the artists. I'm especially pleased that she's back even during her world tour." So obviously she's really busy, but she's finding a way to make it work on the X Factor.
Right.
The big question is, who is gonna fill the other 2 seats? Now let me tell you who they're kind of saying, and tell me if you kind of agree or if you'd want to see them. We're thinking it's either gonna be Katy Perry, John Mayer, Pink, or Neo.
So
who's your favorite of those 4?
Well, if you have Katy Perry, then you have to have John Mayer. That'll just be really interesting. I mean, the truth
Now
is,
that they're broken up?
Of course. You love watching these shows, exactly, because it's awkward and because there's weird dynamics and tension. Like, you want to know what's really going on behind the cameras. So I think that would be a really great idea. But I feel like it's important to also have a very racially multi-ethnic cast, and I don't think that that is ethnic enough. Like, there's not enough variety in that. I mean, I might sound like a Saved by the Bell episode where you have to have like one
of each. No, I agree. I love a nice multiracial platform. I mean, L.A. Reid and Britney Spears represented 2 different demographics that we're not going to have on the show anymore. Personally, I would love to see Miley Cyrus on there. I think she'd be an amazing judge. I think she's vocal. I think she's fiery and sassy, kind of like Demi. I would love to see how Miley and Demi interact, because, you know, they have kind of a history there together. But I don't know. I think those 4 choices would be great too. They're all obviously—
That's a great idea.
You think so?
Yeah.
Katy and I have been rallying for either Justin Timberlake or Miley Cyrus to be a judge on any of the shows.
You're so good at this, Deidre.
Stop.
That's a good one too.
We think that they would be amazing, but unfortunately, Justin's super busy with his new album, and I'm sure, you know, subsequent promotion and touring and all that stuff. So I don't know. I would love to see Miley on there, but that's just me.
And I'm a big fan of hers, so that's just me too.
Let's move on to rumor number 2. This one really kind of depresses and saddens me, because I just don't even know what to think anymore. So I'm sure you guys are plugged in just like we are. Amanda Bynes, for about the past year, has kind of been dancing on a slippery slope. There was the DUI, there was the hit and run, and now if you follow her on Twitter, it's just like a never-ending, bizarre series of tweets and photos that no one can really make sense of. So the most interesting, something that happened this week, is that she tweeted that she's gonna go ahead and sue Us Weekly and Perez Hilton. I have the tweet here. It says, "I'm suing Us Weekly and Perez Hilton for continuing to act like I'm doing something wrong by tweeting and walking to photo shoots fuck you.
Right, because that's gonna go well in court.
Right?
That legally makes sense.
Do you think she has any sort of a case? Do you think she's
First
actually
of all,
suing them?
I mean, does she have parents? Does the girl have a mom? And I don't mean to offend her mom, but
she does, and you know
no guidance here.
She's from the same hometown as Katy and me. She's from Thousand Oaks, California. Her father is a local dentist. I know a lot of people who use him as their dentist.
Really?
They're a very nice, normal family. And
Really?
And Amanda, up until last year, had a very positive, sweet reputation for herself.
Right.
This is kind of coming out of left field. Can I tell you what Katy and my philosophy
I don't think
is?
it's out of left field, but keep going.
Okay, well, I want to hear why. Katy and I have a philosophy that she could be conducting somewhat of a social experiment, kind of like what Joaquin Phoenix did for a movie role. Remember, he went on Letterman, totally in character with what his character in the movie was supposed to be all about. This seems so weird for Amanda Bynes. She's wearing the heavy makeup. She pierced her cheeks. She's wearing wigs. She was out in Times Square just this week with a shirt over her face, wearing a really bizarre outfit.
Totally.
What is the Miriam Issa take on this?
The Miriam Issa take on this, that's really interesting. I mean, first of all, we have freedom of the press. So you saying that you're, for emotional reasons, you're pissed off at Perez, Hilton because they're making you look bad, that means nothing.
Right.
And
public figure, they take photos of her and put them up online.
Yeah, they're actually, I mean, they're calling it their own perspective. It's not like that's illegal or anything. I look at her and I think it's so sad because it's just another example of a child celebrity gone bad. And I don't think it's coming out of left field because 99% of these child stars, this is what happens to them. I mean, eventually, it literally is overnight. I mean, Justin Bieber was America's male sweetheart, and then overnight, you see him go a little crazy, and I feel that, you know, same thing's happening to her. Her tweets, I thought that someone maybe had hacked her Twitter account, and I think it's more like someone has hacked the girl's brain. I completely agree with you. Like, she's totally lost it.
So do you think someone or something is influencing her and making her tweet things like...
Hollywood.
You think it's just Hollywood and all the negative temptations around her? I mean, she tweeted last week, just you guys, she wanted Drake, the rapper Drake, to murder her vagina. I mean, it doesn't get more vulgar or graphic than that.
Right.
So...
Or the one that says, if I'm not following you on Twitter, I hate you. And, you know, I totally get what you're saying. You are trying to find the silver lining here, and you think that it could be like the whole Joaquin Phoenix thing. Yeah, that was a complex and thought-out choice, and I'm not going to give her that credit. I think this is just crazy. I feel so bad for her, and I think they should move to North Dakota.
Okay, well, she moved to New York because, you know, she was trying to escape LA, but I feel like New York and LA still have a lot of the same similarities. And, And the industry just constantly being around her and whatnot.
It's not working out.
All right, so best of luck to Amanda Bynes. Our last and final rumor is... I just don't even know what to do with this rumor. It's from the National Enquirer, so do with that what you will. But basically they're saying that Patty Millette, Justin Bieber's mom, is at her wit's end. She does not know how to discipline Justin, how to, you know, get him in line and get all of his cards straightened out. So she has enlisted their close family friend, Mr. Will Smith, to kind of go in and take Justin under his wing and be the disciplinarian. So this is what they're saying. They're saying that Will caught up with Justin in London when Jaden, his son, was opening up for Bieber on tour, and Will was controlling his curfew, who he was hanging out with, and his use of the TV and the computer. So do you think there's any merit to this rumor? Because I think it's complete bogus. I don't think Will Smith has any bearing over Justin Bieber.
National Enquirer. Definitely that
says it all.
Yeah, please. Some 80-year-old was in an office and was like, what's going to sell and make us a lot of money today? And that's what they thought of. I definitely think that Will Smith is a good leader and 100% a good parental figure. But how do you think this actually happened? Like, Bieb's mom was like, oh, I can't handle him. Will Smith will. And then she calls him, and then what? Then she leaks it, like a conversation that just included two people. Like, this is complete crap. And if you dissect it, it is obvious that it's totally crap. The only part that isn't crap about this is that Biebs does need some tough love from someone, but I am sure it's not going to come from Will Smith.
Yeah, I think
maybe it'll come from Selena Gomez since he was caught at her place.
He was caught at her place this week. I don't know if they're trying to get their relationship back on the road.
What do you think of that?
I think that she is a great influence on him, and I think that she kind of is a no-nonsense kind of lady, and if you want to be with me, if you want to date me, you got to act your age. And you got to step up and be a man, and speeding in your neighborhood and spitting on neighbors and all that. I just think that that's
on neighbors.
Whether it happened or not, because Justin is denying it, but the neighbors are saying it did happen. I think he just needs to act like a man and grow up a little bit. But I don't think Will Smith has anything to do with it, just for the record.
You know, you mentioned Justin Timberlake earlier, and I can't help but compare the two because they were both these pop, like super young pop icons, but Justin Timberlake's career did so well, and I just don't think that he ever screwed up and exploited his fame as much as Bieber has been doing recently. So I feel like if anyone should be calling Bieber to give him some tough love, it should be Timberlake.
JT.
Right?
JT lived it. Yeah, and you know, he had his fun in his 20s and he partied and he dated Britney and all these other girls, and now he's looking to his wife and hopefully starting a family soon. So, you know what? I'm a huge Justin Bieber fan. I adore him. I think you do as well.
Yes.
And we fully support him, and we hope that things get back on track soon, because we don't like seeing him in this place of, you know, bad stuff.
Yeah.
So let's just wrap up. We're not going to do that many shout-outs this week, unfortunately, because Katie's not here and it just doesn't really feel right.
She wants to do it herself.
Of course, she wants to do it herself, but I didn't want to leave you guys hanging. I wanted to read a few of my favorites from this week. So let's go ahead and we will start with my good friend Upuli Jaya Singh. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. I know you're from Sri Lanka, which is awesome. She said, "Hey Katie and Deidre, was waiting for a shout out, but I hope you do it next time. It's your ever-loving viewer Upuli from Sri Lanka, and I love how you take the positive side of everyone, but I have to say what Selena did was very rude, and I feel like she just played a game with Justin all those years. I feel sorry for him since even Letterman's really bad to him." So obviously she was referring to Selena Gomez, kind of making a little joke about Bieber on Letterman. I mean, I think it's all in good fun, just personally. I think in Hollywood, all's fair in love and war, and I don't think she did anything like malicious or spiteful, per se. She was just, you know.
Wait, what exactly did she say?
She said that she made Justin Bieber cry once.
Oh, congratulations, Selena.
Awesome. If you really did, that's great, Selena. If not, I thought it was a cute joke. Nezreen M. Al-Qazi, again, sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, she left a really interesting comment on a story we did about Kendall Jenner getting criticized for being too skinny. She said, "She's so pretty, and some people can eat loads of food and won't gain a pound, and some just by looking at a cookie has them gaining weight." Hello, I'm Deidre Behar. Nice to meet you.
Stop it.
She's skinny, but that's just her body and her metabolism, not her fault. And hi, Deidre. So hello back, and I couldn't agree with you more. I think criticizing someone for being fat is just as awful as criticizing someone for being too skinny. I take body image very seriously, and I think you have to own it and rock your curves or lack thereof and just be a confident person. 24/7.
So awesome. I love you. I'm your biggest fan.
I love you. I'm your biggest fan. Lastly, just a few quick shout outs. Aaliyah Danielle on Instagram, thank you for shouting me out the other day, at Nesso21, at Queen Rihanna 5, and at Andrew MTZ0508. He has faith that Justin did not spit in the neighbor's face. So let's hope that that's true. Yes. So now it is your turn, you guys. We're going to turn things over to you, and you got to hit us up below in the comment section. Let us know what you think about Demi Lovato joining the X Factor for Season 3, and who you think should be sitting in the mentor chairs next to her. Of course, let us know what is going on inside that brain of Amanda Bynes, and let us know if you think Will Smith really could be kind of controlling or patrolling Justin Bieber. Of course, if you haven't already done so, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Make sure you subscribe to Clever TV. You can find Miriam there.
And you can learn Spanish at the same time. It's
Amen.
Great.
Multicultural, multi-educational.
Thank you.
It's a win-win for everyone.
It's really stereotypical. We do lots of salsa dancing, and we wear bikinis in half of our shoot.
Who wouldn't want to watch that? Yes, so subscribe to Clever TV. Please subscribe to Clever News. And hopefully next week, Katie will be back with us, nice and spick and span and healthy.
Much love to Katie.
Much love to Katie, but you were an amazing co-host. Thank you for joining me today.
My pleasure.
And have an amazing weekend, you guys. We will see you next week. Bye.